You can't see them. You can't reason with them. You can't even decide if they're truly alive. But they can. Hijack cells, rewrite genetic code. Shut down entire civilizations and still fit inside a sneeze. They're not monsters. They're not microbes. They're viruses, just strands of code with an ego problem. Welcome to It All Started With, the series where science gets curious, funny, and occasionally existential. Today we're diving into the molecular drama queens of biology. Viruses, tiny genetic stowaways that crash the party, steal the snacks, and leave your immune system writing angry Yelp reviews. Before we start, hit that like button, infect the subscribe button, and leave a comment about your favorite pandemic memory. Too soon? Sorry. Let's go microscopic. Viruses are genetic material in a protein wrapper. They don't breathe, grow, metabolize. They do replicate, evolve, destroy everything you love, but only if they find a host. Imagine if a flash drive could sneak into your laptop and start rewriting your files to make copies of itself. That's a virus. Is it alive? Is it dead? It's complicated. They're biological software with vibes. Viruses didn't wait for humans. They've been messing with life since life was barely trying. They may have helped early cells evolve, jump-started DNA sharing, contributed to the origin of the nucleus. They're like the interns of evolution, chaotic, underpaid, and somehow still influential. Some scientists even think viruses came first, that all of biology might be a side project of rogue code. If true, that would make humans viral content with legs. Here's how a virus works. Find a host cell, attach to it like an overly clingy X, inject its code, hijack the cell's machinery, make copies explode out like molecular Kool-Aid Man, and the host cell? Dead, exhausted, blocked by every antivirus it never asked for. This process is so efficient, even sci-fi robots would be jealous. It's not brute force, it's finesse. Viruses are nature's hackers, and your cells are still using Windows 95. Viruses have had a longer PR career than most pop stars. Pharaohs died of smallpox. Native populations were crushed by measles. World wars paused for the Spanish flu. And your cousin's birthday was ruined by norovirus? Each outbreak tells a story of mutation, of globalization. Of the immune system learning karate in a day, viruses don't discriminate. They don't negotiate. They just replicate. And occasionally go on tour. Not all viruses are chaotic evil. Some are useful. Once dead. Enter vaccines. The idea? Let's train your immune system using a mugshot of the criminal. Vaccines are dead viruses, weakened viruses, or just viral blueprints. They teach your immune system to recognize threats, so next time, it doesn't panic and knock over all the cellular furniture. Basically, vaccines are flashcards with attitude injected into your arm, so your white blood cells can graduate. Fun fact, the first vaccine was against smallpox using cowpox. We gave ourselves a virus to fight another virus. Biology. The original fight fire with fire meme. Meet the bacteriophage, a virus that infects bacteria, not humans. Looks like a lunar lander, acts like a bacterial hitman. In a post-antibiotic world, phage therapy might save us from superbugs. Because when antibiotics fail, we can send in their ancient viral enemies. It's like hiring Godzilla to fight King Kong. In your bloodstream. Also, some scientists are engineering viruses to fight cancer, fix genetic diseases, deliver targeted therapies. Viruses still not alive. Now saving lives. Awkward. Ready for a twist? About 8% of your DNA is from ancient viruses. They're called endogenous retroviruses, and they're leftover invaders. Long since deactivated, still haunting your genetic basement. They once infected germline cells integrated into human DNA. Got passed on like molecular family heirlooms today. They sit there like, we were chaos once. Now we're just decorative. And maybe, just maybe, some of these viral ghosts still influence brain development, immunity, even placentas. Yes, your placenta might be part virus. Thanks, evolution. Here's a fun existential crisis. Viruses can't reproduce alone, but they shape evolution. They're not cells. But cells are full of viral echoes. So, are viruses truly other? Or are they just the software half of biology? Some scientists argue life is a spectrum, not a binary. Viruses are life's dark reflection. They are information, replicating, mutating, hijacking. They don't live. They propagate. They don't think. They optimize. Maybe they're not alive? They're just inevitable. Viruses mutate constantly, accidentally, aggressively. Why? Their replication is sloppy. They don't check their work, and evolution loves chaos. Most mutations do nothing. Some break the virus. But a few, they make it faster, sneakier, harder to kill. Like if typos made your emails stronger. It's survival of the glitchiest. This is why the flu shot changes yearly. New variants keep emerging. Scientists are in a constant arms race. With sneeze-borne code, a pandemic happens when a virus spreads easily. Spreads globally makes enough humans miserable to shut down brunch. They're not new, just better advertised now. History gave us the Black Death, thanks fleas. The Spanish flu, which wasn't Spanish. The HIV/AIDS crisis, which changed global medicine. And of course, COVID-19, the Netflix-era virus. Pandemics reveal how interconnected we are, how unprepared we stay, and how people will fight over toilet paper like it's gold. Let's talk SARS-CoV-2. Small RNA virus looks like a spiky meatball. Became a household name in under 90 days. It spread through air, exploited travel, shut down borders, taught us the phrase, flatten the curve. COVID didn't just infect lungs, it infected culture. Zoom calls, face masks, conspiracy memes. Banana bread. It was the first virus to trend on TikTok. Viruses are masters of hitchhiking. They use air, water, blood, touch mosquitoes, bats. Basically anything gross, some last hours on doorknobs. Others survive freezing, drying, bleach. They're not picky. Your body becomes factory transport vehicle social media. Every cough is a viral press release, and if the virus is really ambitious, it books a flight. Your immune system is overworked, overreactive, overdramatic. Its job, identify intruders, neutralize threats. Remember enemies, and it does this with white blood cells, attackers, antibodies, trackers, fever, thermostat tantrum, inflammation, everything hurts and you're mad. When a virus enters, your immune system responds with confusion, violence, mucus. It's like setting your house on fire to kill a mosquito. Viruses are disguised burglars. They mimic host proteins, hide inside cells, shut down alarms, move fast before antibodies arrive. It's stealth warfare. Some viruses even sabotage immunity directly, turning off warning signals, blocking defenses, and going full James Bond on your T cells. Others play long games. HIV destroys the immune system itself. Herpes hides and flares up when you're stressed. HPV can lie dormant for years. They don't just sneak past the guards, they become the guards. Sometimes your immune system gets too creative. It starts attacking your own tissue. Healthy cells, organs that were just minding their business. This is called autoimmunity, and viruses can trigger it, like setting off a false alarm and watching the SWAT team destroy your living room. Examples: type 1, diabetes, multiple sclerosis, rheumatoid arthritis. The virus may be gone, but the chaos it started keeps echoing, because nothing spreads faster than biological paranoia. Some viruses don't leave. They move in, they redecorate, they go dormant. They're not dead. They're just waiting. Examples: herpes simplex, hepatitis B and C, Epstein-Barr virus. They hide inside your cells like, shh, don't tell anyone I'm here. Then when your immune system blinks, boom, cold sore, fatigue, liver drama. It's the worst kind of roommate. Quiet until it's not. Viruses aren't just chaos agents, they're also editors. Every infection is a genetic experiment. Insert a gene, delete a section, rearrange the code. Hope the host survives over time. This leads to evolutionary nudges. Sometimes, bad mutations get eliminated. Helpful ones stay. Entire species change. Viruses don't just influence evolution, they are part of it. In fact, they may be responsible for some of biology's greatest hits, including the placenta, the adaptive immune system, and even genetic diversity. Who knew the villain was also the screenwriter? Normally, you inherit genes vertically from your parents. Viruses break the rules. They share genes horizontally, like, hey, bacteria friend, want this cool antibiotic resistance gene? Nice mitochondria. Mind if I borrow the design? This gene swapping allows for rapid adaptation. New traits, massive evolutionary leaps. It's like evolution pressed Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V across species lines. Viruses, The reason biology has patch notes. Scientists now use viruses as tools. We strip out the dangerous parts and insert what we want. Corrective genes. Cancer targeting code, DNA instructions for making CRISPR. It's like taking the Death Star and turning it into a hospital. Thanks to this, gene therapy became possible. Some inherited diseases became treatable. Sci-fi became lab protocol viruses may not be alive, but they're surprisingly good employees. We try with vaccines, antivirals, quarantines. Gene editing biocontainment labs with doors thicker than bank vaults, but viruses are fast, unpredictable, adaptive, small enough to slip through filters yet big enough to derail empires. Control? Maybe? Eradicate? So far, only smallpox has been completely eliminated, and even then, we kept 2 samples in labs, just in case. Because if history has taught us anything, viruses always show up uninvited. We're not just studying viruses anymore. We're building them. With synthetic biology, we can design custom viruses, edit their genomes, control their behavior. Applications, targeted cancer treatments, precision gene editing, vaccine delivery systems. It's biotech with training wheels. Only the wheels are on fire and the track is made of RNA. The power is enormous. The risks also enormous. Because when you start editing nature's most unpredictable software, bugs become biohazards. Sadly, not all labs have good intentions. Viruses can be weaponized, aerosolized smallpox, modified influenza, lab-designed superbugs. History whispers through pages about Soviet bioweapons programs, accidental lab leaks, near misses that should have been movie plots. We like to pretend we're in control, but viruses don't care about politics, borders, or ethics. They just replicate. And if we push the wrong code into the world, it won't apologize. The term viral doesn't just mean disease anymore. We now say, that video went viral. This idea spread like a virus. My brain is infected with that jingle. Why? Because ideas, like viruses, replicate. They invade minds, use attention to reproduce, evolve to become more shareable. Viruses taught us that small things, well-timed, can change the world. From pandemics to pop culture, their influence is everywhere. In the end, viruses are mirrors. They reveal our vulnerabilities, our interconnectedness, our ingenuity, and hubris. They force us to collaborate. They expose our blind spots. They remind us we're not as separate as we think. We define life by what viruses aren't. But maybe that's not fair. Maybe viruses are just the raw chaos life needs to grow. Because without them, there's no evolution, no immune system, no us. Here's the theory. Before cells, before membranes, before DNA wrapped itself in a shell, there were RNA molecules. Self-replicating, floating, competing. Sound familiar? Some scientists believe the first life was viral, or at least virus-like. That maybe life didn't birth viruses, but rather viruses gave rise to life. If that's true, then everything from whales to pine trees to TikTok teens is just a side effect of viral ambition. What do viruses want? Nothing. They don't think. They don't feel. They just do. And yet, they shape evolution, influence ecosystems, teach us resilience. Maybe they don't want, but they cause. They remind us life is fragile. Systems are interconnected. Scale doesn't equal significance. A virus isn't even a cell, but it can change history. In some ways, we are now the virus, spreading ideas, replicating memes, infecting technology with our thoughts. Language is viral. Culture is viral. AI might be viral. The meme, the gene, the digital dream, all iterations of code seeking new hosts. Maybe the virus was never just biology. Maybe it was always pattern, an echo that just keeps echoing. We learned that viruses aren't alive but act like they are. They're dangerous, clever, helpful, and terrifying. They're part of us, around us, inside us, and above all, they're the reason we evolved at all. So next time you sneeze, panic during flu season, or curse your immune system, just remember, that tiny strand of RNA might be your oldest ancestor's weirdest gift.